The Greek Reporter, 16th of October 2023, China, Latin America's big bad investor. Latin America has a track record of defaulting on its loans. China will lose $1 trillion if other countries cease giving it money. Although Latin America has historically been the economic backyard of the United States, its economic landscape has changed significantly in recent years. China has upended the U.S.'s long-standing economic hegemony by increasing its investments there as its influence on the world stage grows. This tendency has also affected Colombia, a strategically significant Latin American nation, with Chinese investments impacting the country's flagging economy. China's influence in the poor countries of Latin America. Over the past 20 years, China has demonstrated a strong interest in Latin American countries. The Asian behemoth has made billion-dollar investments in the area in several sectors, including mining, energy, and infrastructure. The Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, released research that shows that between 2005 and 2019, Chinese investments in Latin America climbed from approximately $2 billion to over $30 billion. These figures demonstrate China's genuine commitment to the area. Infrastructure development and the creation of jobs have resulted from this investment throughout Latin America. China has contributed more than $16 billion to energy projects that generate electricity, supporting the provision of power to millions of households in the region. Conversely, relative terms have seen a decline in U.S. investments in Latin America. The United States continues to be the largest trading partner in the region, but its share of foreign direct investment, FDI, has been progressively decreasing. U.S. investments in Latin America decreased from 20% of total foreign direct investment, FDI, in the 1990s to 12% in the most recent 10 years, according to data from the World Bank. This has prompted some to wonder if China is gaining momentum in the U.S. and its neighborhood. Chinese financing for Colombia. China and the U.S. have both been interested in Colombia since it is one of the biggest and most dynamic economies in Latin America. China has made many sector-specific investments in the South American nation, demonstrating its strong involvement. Infrastructure is one primary sector in which China has made investments in Colombia. Chinese enterprises have funded significant infrastructure projects, including building roads and bridges. One prominent example is the China Harbor Engineering Company's CHEC, Bogotá-Girardot Highway, dramatically increasing communication throughout the nation. This highway required a $2.5 billion investment. China has also made investments in Colombia's energy sector, helping to build and run hydroelectric plants. For example, the Hidroituango project, one of Colombia's most significant energy-producing projects, has approximately $1.5 billion in Chinese funding. China has also become more prevalent in the telecoms industry. The development of Colombia's telecommunications infrastructure has been greatly aided by the technology company Huawei. This has sparked worries about data security and using Chinese technology and vital infrastructure in several sectors. Chinese participation in the Bogotá Metro's construction is arguably one of the country's most significant current investments. The structure of the much-anticipated first line of the capital's metro was granted to Metrolínea 1 SAS in 2019 by the city. The company comprises China Harbor Engineering Company Limited and Shen Metro Company Limited. This second Chinese company has already invested in Latin America. In 2018, it was in charge of converting a two-lane road in each direction on Route 32 between Guapiles and Puerto Limón, Costa Rica, to 4 lanes, 2 in each way. The first phase of the project is being built by Metrolínea 1 SAS for 22 trillion Colombian pesos, of which about 2 trillion have already been spent. For the past 70 years, the metro has caused debate in the capital of Colombia. Following an above-ground track model that is equally devoid of consensus among all parties, the building has been moving forward since 2019 after several projects and financial outlays on research that have produced no results. The present national administration has attempted to persuade Chinese authorities to alter a portion of the proposed metro route so that it is underground. However, the mayor's office of Bogotá is adamantly against this option since they believe it will cause a significant delay in the completion of the project. Forecasts indicate that the transportation system's first line will operate in March 2028. American reaction to China's debt trap of Latin America. Concerns have been expressed in Washington over China's expanding influence in Latin America, particularly Colombia. China's political and economic sway in the area has alarmed the United States, which has responded with several actions. The debt that Latin American nations are accruing from China is one of the United States' primary concerns. A considerable debt load with China has resulted from China's alleged debt diplomacy with several Latin American nations, potentially jeopardizing their economic and political independence. The U.S. has provided funding and development initiatives to countries in the area to counteract this impact. Additionally, the U.S. has advised its Latin American friends to exercise caution regarding Chinese enterprises' involvement in vital infrastructure and technological areas. As a result, Huawei is no longer allowed to participate in specific telecom projects in Latin American nations. In Latin America, the rivalry between China and the United States has also permeated the political and diplomatic spheres. There is competition between both nations for influence in the region due to their attempts to forge trade and alliance deals with the governments of Latin America,